Imagine waking up every day, trapped in a cycle of pain that no doctor, pill, or therapy could fix. You've tried it all, yet the pain keeps coming back, leaving you feeling hopeless. That was my life for 22 years. But then everything changed, not because I found a miracle cure, but because I discovered something that made me think about my pain in a completely new way. And it turned everything around. In this video, I'm sharing the exact mindset shift that set me free, the steps I took to heal, and how you can start applying these insights to your own journey. If you've been searching for answers to chronic pain, this might just be the perspective you need. Hi, I'm Siljama, a certified hypnotherapist. Think of me as a guide for people stuck in chronic pain, who feel let down by the medical system and are ready to explore a new approach. What makes me unique is my own journey of overcoming 22 years of debilitating chronic headaches through self-awareness, emotional release, and radical mindset shifts. Here on this channel, I talk about the mind-body connection, uncovering the emotional and psychological roots of chronic pain, and how to harness the power of your mind to heal your body. If you're tired of treating symptoms and ready to explore a deeper path to healing, this content is for you. Now, let me take you through how I healed from chronic pain and how you can too. For years, I was trapped in a cycle of chronic pain, desperately searching for answers. I tried everything from medical treatments to lifestyle changes, but nothing seemed to offer lasting relief. I spent years searching for physical causes for my pain, but it wasn't until I learned about tension myositis syndrome, TMS for short, that everything began to make sense. What I discovered wasn't a denial of my pain, it was an understanding of why my pain had persisted despite everything I tried. TMS opened up a whole new way of thinking about chronic pain, and it gave me a sense of control I hadn't felt before. TMS is a mind-body condition where chronic pain is not caused by structural damage or physical injury, but by repressed emotions and psychological stress. Think about how your heart races when you're scared, or your shoulders tense up when you're stressed. These are examples of how emotions create physical responses in your body. Or have you ever had a stomach ache or nausea before a big presentation or a stressful event? That's a mind-body connection in action. TMS is like that, but manifests as chronic pain instead of a temporary physical symptom. Think of TMS like a fire alarm going off in your body. It's signaling danger, but the source of the fire is emotional, not physical. The subconscious mind, when faced with a choice between emotional and physical pain, may perceive emotional pain as more dangerous due to societal stigmas around negative emotions. To protect you, it redirects your focus by creating physical pain as a distraction, shielding you from confronting emotions it deems threatening. This process is often tied to personality traits like perfectionism, people-pleasing, and a tendency to suppress emotions. Understanding TMS involves recognizing the emotional and psychological roots of chronic pain, shifting away from fear-based thinking, and addressing unresolved emotions to allow true healing. Before this shift, I lived in a fear-based mindset. I was constantly worried about my body, convinced there was something physically wrong with me that needed fixing. It felt like an endless search for a needle in a haystack, problem after problem, solution after solution, yet nothing brought relief from the relentless pain and suffering. This cycle of fear only amplified my pain, keeping me stuck in a never-ending loop of frustration and despair. What I learned about TMS was eye-opening. It suggests that chronic pain doesn't always come from physical injury or damage, but can sometimes be tied to how we process stress and emotions. It's not to say there's no physical pain. It's real and it hurts. But sometimes the cause of that pain is tied to unresolved, unfelt emotions or psychological stress that we may not even be aware of. When I understood this connection, it didn't mean that my physical pain wasn't valid. It just meant that there was more to the story than I'd been led to believe. I'd spent years focusing only on the physical aspects of my pain, but what I found was that my emotional state, my mindset, was influencing my experience of pain in ways I hadn't expected. I realised that the stress, fear and pressure I put on myself every day was showing up in my body as pain. It wasn't just about being defective or broken, it was about how my body was reacting to my mental and emotional stress. When I started to change the way I thought and felt, I noticed shifts in my pain too. I learnt that emotions were triggered by thoughts. So that meant that the true cause of my pain was mental.
Around here we call that stinking thinking.
My negative, fearful and stress-filled mindset was driving my pain. I had to take a hard look at myself, not the version of me I thought I was, but the real me I had become. What I saw was uncomfortable. I was perfectionistic, overly critical of myself and trapped in a constant cycle of overthinking. This personality type, this relentless need to be perfect was fueling my pain. The first step in my healing was acceptance. I had to face the truth. The stress, pressure and expectations I placed on myself were fueling my pain. It wasn't easy to acknowledge that my perfectionism, negativity and constant striving were at the root of it all. But once I embraced this truth, everything changed. I stopped seeing myself as a helpless victim of my body and started taking control of my mind. It was through this shift that I found the power to take charge of my pain and my life. At first, accepting this was deeply uncomfortable. The image I had of myself, the happy, easygoing, positive person I thought I was in direct conflict with the reality I was now facing. The truth was humbling, but I realised that clinging to the illusion was only keeping me stuck. Once I accepted the truth, I started working on changing, because there's no change without change. I had to learn how to chill out, let go of the things I couldn't control, and be more positive and kinder to myself. I began practicing self-love and self-acceptance. Instead of criticizing myself for every perceived failure, I started speaking to myself with compassion. I made time for rest, joy, and things that nurtured my soul. I also worked on my thoughts. I challenged negative thinking patterns and replaced them with more empowering ones. When fear crept in, I reminded myself of the truth. My pain wasn't permanent and there was nothing wrong with me. Healing is not a linear journey and it's not something you complete. I'm still working on myself, but it gets easier every day. With each step, life becomes better, freer and more joyful. Looking back, I can see that the key to my healing wasn't in a magic pill or a perfect treatment. It was in shifting my mindset, addressing my emotions and learning to live in a way that supports my mind, body and spirit. If you're struggling with chronic pain, know that healing is possible. It starts with a paradigm shift, a willingness to look within, and the courage to change. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Because on the other side of pain is freedom, peace, and a life you'll love living. I know that this concept may feel new or even difficult to wrap your head around, but I invite you to stay curious and explore and to be open to the possibility that there's more to your pain than meets the eye. Healing is a process and it begins with understanding. Understanding yourself and your body in a new way. If you're ready to dive deeper, I'm here to guide you.